Hi, T. Carlson, and we're talking about record players today. I did a review a few months ago for the Victrola 8-in-1, which was a record player that served me really well. The review I did for that on this channel ended up being the most popular video I ever recorded for my channel, which I certainly was not expecting. Unfortunately, after about 7 months of reliable service, that Victrola finally gave out on me with the record player portion, finally just playing records too slow and at too low a pitch no matter what I did or how much I adjusted the screw inside the lid. Now, I want to stress in this video, I am not an expert when it comes to record players. I'm just more of a casual music listener, diehard fan of, rock and roll, metal, several genres of music, but I'm not an expert when it comes to record players. I want to stress that from the beginning. So, I looked around online to try to find a decent, viable replacement for my Victrola just because I couldn't get it to work. And I found something on Amazon called the Crosley Musician, a 6-in-1 player that essentially seemed like Crosley's equivalent of the Victrola 8-in-1. I mean, it was missing a few features, but it also did a few things the Victrola didn't, so it seemed like there was a little bit of give and take, but it actually seemed like a pretty fair mix on everything. So I went ahead and ordered one of these players, and this is just going to be sort of a brief overview of my experiences with this player. Not a super in-depth review like I did with the Victrola, but I hope I can encourage people to know whether or not this is a player that they should buy. So, one of the first things you'll notice with the Crosley Musician, the design of the unit looks absolutely gorgeous. It's got this old-fashioned look about it. I actually bought the I think it was called the walnut-colored unit, and it's got this old-fashioned wooden look to it, not unlike the Victrola, but I appreciate how on this player, the buttons on the front actually look a little more like something that belongs on a vintage player, whereas that kind of stuck out like a sore thumb on the Victrola. And you got a switch for all your options at the front of the player, and again, a lot of the same functions as Victrola. You can stream Bluetooth stuff, you can play CDs, you can listen to the radio. Unlike the Victrola, this one also has AM radio. Apparently some of the Victrolas have AM, but the one I had didn't. So it's nice to know that you've got the options for both AM and FM here. That's a step in the right direction. I tried out the CD player and the Bluetooth. Both of those functions on here work just fine. I had no issues with either of them. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any, USB support or anything like that, so you can't play MP3s off a USB stick, which is one of my favorite things I could do with the Victrola. So upon getting this player, one of the very first things I did was opened up the vinyl portion of the player just to see how that looked. And honestly, it looks pretty plain but pretty nice in there. One problem I immediately noticed, however, is that the hinge that keeps the lid open is on the right, so it's in the way of the tone arm and the lever, and that makes it a real pain to do anything over there you need to do, including switching speeds and raising and lowering the lever and things like that. On the Victrola, that was on the left side, so that didn't get in the way of anything. So that's a big strike against the player right there. I did appreciate that there's an option to turn off the auto stop feature, which the Victrola did not have. That was a problem when listening to a lot of 45s that had more than one song and ran a little longer than your average 45. So I do appreciate that there was a way around that. Now, the first thing I did when I got this player, of course, I grabbed records and kept throwing them on, kept playing them. Traditional 33 1/3, 45, a little bit of everything there, and everything played fine at first. Sound quality, like right from the get-go, I thought was actually a little better than the Victrola, which was kind of surprising. Unfortunately, it's all downhill from there. After about a day of use, this player started playing everything at too low of a pitch and too slow. I kept, switching the speed, switching back and forth, messing around with it, trying to adjust it the best I could. Nothing worked. Everything just played at too low a pitch and too slow. And I sent the player back to Amazon to get a replacement. I got my replacement, opened it up. Exact same deal. Worked great for the first day, and after that, everything just got too slow and too low pitched. Nothing sounded right. I was playing vinyl records of songs that I've listened to my whole life on here, and hearing them just distorted and sounding wrong was just a dismal experience. So I sent my second one back to Amazon for a refund. I think I'm actually still waiting on that refund, so I'm going to have to contact them back after this. So, even though all the other components of this player work fine, I think the CD player is actually better than the Victrola because the Victrola tended to cut off the beginnings of songs. But the failure of the vinyl portion of this, unfortunately, makes this player a no-go for me, no matter how good it looks. If you can't consistently produce quality sound from vinyl and the speed and the pitch are off and there's just no way to fix it, then this player is simply not recommended. I'm not saying the Victrola that I used to have was a masterpiece, but it was compared to this because it at least gave me a good 7 months or so of reliable service. So I'm never going to buy one of these Crosley players again. I'll probably end up ordering another Victrola from Amazon and just getting the extended warranty package, and that way I can get, replacement unit or repairs with none of the hassle. How about you? Have you purchased any of these players, and what experiences have you had with them? Again, I stress the fact that I'm not an expert when it comes to vinyl units and playback, but I want to hear what you guys think. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content because I'm always posting new videos, and give this one a like if you found it helpful or interesting. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.